Hey, I just had a whole great day of teaching classes with all the Facebook Ads MBA members. It seems for some reason today I had like 3 or 4 one-on-ones with current students, which is awesome, and really was a great reminder in talking to all these folks about halfway through. One of the great benefits of what the Facebook Ads MBA program has that honestly so many other folks don't have, which is community. Being able to communicate with other folks that understand what it is that you're doing. And there's a very big difference between being able to ask other people trying to sell you something versus asking somebody that has been there and solved your problem dozens and dozens of times. There's a very big difference between having a conversation with somebody who's overworked, underpaid, and poorly trained that has never faced your issue, that can recite the best practices that may or may not have existed years ago, and somebody that has been there and solved your problem dozens and dozens of times. There's also some really great value in being able to share that journey with other people. So some of the things that I really wanted to talk about real quick is that, first off, you are not alone. One of the downsides of digital marketing is that we all feel that, first off, the vast majority of people giving advice are total shit at their job. The toxic culture of people who are bad at their job championing other people who are bad at their job because the person, that first person might be the best person that's still several years behind and wrong. And there's this false value placed on individuals who are, well tenured. I can't tell you how many individuals have 8, 10, 15, 20 years in the business and were successful because they landed a few clients that were really, really good. But they don't know fuck all about how you're supposed to do things on a daily basis. And I say this all the time, but if your iPhone was busted, would you go to Tim Cook to ask how to fix it? Is that the person you think is really going to be able to help it? Do you think Lee Iacocca is going to be able to help you with, your windshield wiper fluid? My point to all of this is, one of the great benefits of the Facebook Ads MBA program is not just that you get 9 courses in 9 weeks, not just that you get hands-on training with me the entire time, not just that you get to be a member forever so you consistently see all of the training and get to join in any of the group classes for any of the classes that ever happen. If you join today, you can join the classroom 6 months from now, totally fine. And alumni will also be there to ask questions and to help each other out. But there's also the community, and there's an exclusive community that comes as a part of that, filled with other folks who are at the same place that you are, or different. They might be agency owners, because we have them. We might have 8-figure brand owners, because we have them. We might have people that are trying to change their life and want to learn a skill and basically go back to college, because we have them. There are very few people that have not at least seen or faced the issue that you're having in your journey to get better. What we talk about in the Facebook Ads MBA program, between documentation and reporting and understanding how to run audits and Scrum docs, and when we're going over testing for branded estimated action rate, and how to project manage, and how to install a system so that you can learn how to do it, but you can also teach 10 other people on your team how to do it. What we're also getting to here is that is difficult to do. And if you have questions, first off, other courses that you get from somebody who's pre-recorded some out-of-context thing proving why their idea that was obsolete a couple years ago is still something you should pay attention to today. They don't come with the ability to ask a question of that person. Just you take it as gospel, even though it's probably not right, which is why you're probably still trying to solve the same problem you were probably trying to solve a year ago. If you don't level up the people you're learning from, you're never going to level up the quality of problem that you have. And if you level up the people you're learning from and you surround yourself with other people trying to solve that same problem that might have different strengths and weaknesses than you, then you are not only buying into a solution that is evergreen, that is evolving, and that can make you better than 80-90% of the people on the planet, because again, that's what I teach, because Facebook says I'm one of the top 100, and to be fair, a good chunk of that other 100 are my students and clients. There's a reason why I've done hundreds of millions of things, and why I can call out when people misquote case studies I did years ago as breaking news and new strategies. So when you are part of a community of individuals, You can choose to be, a active member. You can choose to be a passive member. If you want to go back and look at all the classes from the last things, just so, hey, you missed this week's lecture and you didn't get a chance to Q&A, well, what about the last 5 people? What about the last 5 times that lecture happened? Wouldn't you love to see all of the questions and answers that they had? And then when you got an answer to that question, wouldn't you like to be able to go out to, hey, this person had that question, clearly they were happy with it, let me go into the community and ask them what happened. Let me ask that person that went through it how to be successful. And if you figure it out, one of the great ways of solidifying knowledge is to pass it along. There's no shortage of an opportunity for you or a team member to go in there and lean on these strengths. So it's not just that you're getting, 9 courses for one program. It's not just that you're getting one-on-one time and group classes with Q&A in a scenario. It's not just that you're getting not only how Facebook works from somebody that has literally been there to help design the way that it's supposed to function with the engineering and product department for years, and how to scale appropriately by somebody that has quite literally done hundreds of millions of dollars. Not only how to test properly by somebody that literally wrote the book that Facebook teaches on how you're supposed to do it, that honestly, I'm not seeing a single other person talk about. That branded estimated action rate, which is the number one most important thing that you should be looking at with your testing. And not only do I have a system for it, but I have the process well documented. I've been teaching it to dozens and dozens of people who see tremendous success and confidence with what they're doing. But you get to join a bunch of other people who are in the same situation as you, or that may have been there, that are now above and beyond, that might be good for you to reach out to, or folks that are below you that you can help with. Another great part about this community that I see all the time is, who do you want to reach out to for help? Say, for instance, you are the person running an agency and you've gone through this program. And I see this because it happens every class. There's at least 1 or 2 people running agencies. Maybe you have an agency. You've gone through the program. You really like it. You're unhappy with the media buyers that you have because maybe they came from some other agency and they were overworked and poorly trained and underpaid. And you're just like, you know what? I just want somebody that's good. Who are you going to go to? Well, why not go to the group of people that have also done the same training that you have? Wouldn't it be great to hire somebody who's fucking elite, that requires 0 training, and you already have a personal potential relationship with, that also went through the same training that you did, so they know all of the words, they know the vernacular, they know the systems, they know the process. If you're able to install anybody into your system and they're able to execute at 100% on day 1, that is invaluable. Maybe it's the other way. You want to get a job. And I can't tell you how many times somebody that was in this, that was trying to be an entrepreneur or successfully entrepreneuring, wanted to hire somebody that was good at it, or people that just wanted to get a lot better at this, ended up running their own agencies or getting work for other people. Nobody leaves the program without an opportunity at least a 6-figure income. That is massive. And for what it's worth, we get people that are brand new occasionally in it. And I do interview everybody that wants to be a part of the group. And I make sure that that community is only populated with individuals who are a good fit. I do keep the classes small because I want to have a personal relationship with everybody. And I don't want to have some low integrity individuals trying to sell folks inside the program. If you're interested in trying to be a part of a community where it's not like, Instagram, where basically everybody's giving the same extremely entry-level basic advice, and half of it is wrong. Like, I'm getting better, but I get in disputes with individuals who are like, no, you should absolutely be testing interest groups. Or no, you can absolutely scale by, duplicating your ad sets. Or no, like dynamic creatives don't work. Or no, you should absolutely be running cost caps. Or any of these other things that are dead wrong and have been for years. But it works for them in their little view. And here's the problem. What works for you in a small situation might not be what works for somebody else. Somebody else could solve the exact same problem that you have in a different way. So what you need to learn isn't how did somebody do it, right? Because I see a million courses and I see all sorts of things where people say, here's my ad account, here's what it looks like. And then you try to recreate it, and what happens? You don't see the same success, because what they're relying on that they don't show is a lot of other information. And honest, your background information for the back end of your business or your skill set has nothing to do with their cost per acquisition or their cost of goods or the other platforms that they're running or their email game or their overhead or their distribution deals or their cult of personality around stuff that makes them just feel a lot better because they've been in the game long enough and because they talk on stages. I'll give you a hint. Almost everybody I know that talks on stages all the time is absolute dog shit at actually running Facebook ads. And the reason that I don't get asked to talk on stages all the time is because my pitch is basically this. Everybody else on the stage is several years behind me, and they're almost all wrong. Here's the 10 reasons why they are. Here's the hundreds of millions of dollars to prove it, and all the case studies, plus Facebook's word. Now, that's a very bad business model when you sell talking on stages, which is what most of these people do. And you sell that opportunity to people so they can pay $5,000, $10,000 so they can acquire customers. So, all that being said, the community here is of great value because you're not alone. It's not chasing, folks on Twitter that have a new thing going on because their agency is X, Y, and Z. This isn't a 3-figure solution where you're paying somebody $250 a month to be a part of their premium Slack group where you get to talk to their employees that have never solved a business problem, that have never managed a 7-figure business, that have never owned and operated an 8-figure business or tried to, get through these issues. They don't understand the implementation, the impact of the implementation of greater retargeting on Facebook to overall unit cost and why incremental value isn't being delivered, and they can definitely not project manage the 5 other teams it takes to come in. But you can. If you have a system in place with documentation, transparency, and accountability, and then you learn the process to work through it all, one person can absolutely do 90% of that stuff, and you can do it in a very short amount of time. I was just on a call with a student. His name is Simon, has a really cool business. And Simon's in a place where, and I won't give too much about his business out here, but he's in a place where he was spending an hour or 2 a day on Facebook. He wasn't really sure which direction to go in. He had bought courses from other people. He had chased down everything, and basically after iOS 14, nothing works. First off, everything still works. What doesn't work is the hacks that you shouldn't have been doing in the first place. They're not able to give you the false positives that you use to promote your business. So the people that sell hacks, the Facebook hacks that sell hacks, are struggling. And they see that, and they then project that out into the space. So your community is built off of a whole bunch of people that are very well respected because they're pretty good business owners, but they're absolute dog shit at running Facebook ads, telling you the problems that they're having based on the advice that they give. And if they're constantly being championed and encouraged by the other people in that space, then you're living in a toxic environment that is preventing you from seeing success. And so then you have to go well, who can I trust? If instead you had a community of people you could absolutely trust because they've all seen the same systems and process, documentation and accountability and transparency that you have, and they're all succeeding because of it. I mean, we're talking a 100% hit rate on success with good business models, because success in your Facebook ad account, success in your business has far more to do with making Facebook easy and scalable and stable so that you can work on everything else that happens after the click than it does about chasing down the next audience. If anybody says, well, look, we're going to target some other audiences because they did really well, it means they absolutely know fucking nothing about Facebook. If anybody says, well, we're doing creative testing, we're going to build a whole bunch of ads and see which ones do well, and we're going to turn them off after a few days, it means they know absolutely fucking nothing about how Facebook actually works. It means that they were brought up in a toxic environment that basically lied to them the entire time. And here's the thing. If you work with a good business, you can do everything wrong and still be successful, because the business model is what's driving the success, not the marketing. If you want to get really good at marketing, you have to learn from people who are really good. And if you have a community of individuals who have also gone through all of the lessons that you have, that have seen all the problems that you're facing, that have struggled with the same thing that you're struggling with when it comes to leveling up and unlearning all of the stuff that they were taught by somebody who had no fucking clue what they were talking about, but was successful because they signed a good client and they've been around a long time and they're nice on Twitter. If you surround yourself instead with individuals who are succeeding because they're implementing the right systems and process, and they face the same problem that you have, they might have had the exact same question. Well, if you can see the question that they had and go and review the videos of them asking that question and getting an answer in lectures across every single vertical that you could possibly think of, and ultimately get you an answer even before you feel like, is this okay for me to ask this question? Are other people having this problem? Is what's going on here? You don't have to be alone. And let me tell you this, you are not alone. There are a bunch of people just like you. And there's a fair amount of them that exist inside of this Facebook Ads MBA program. And the beauty of this program is that you can lean on other individuals forever. If you're running a business and you learned how to do it, now your business is so successful, you just have to hire somebody else. Who are you going to hire? Why not hire somebody else that did the same level of effort to improve themselves that you did, that knows everything that you know, that you can install on day one? If you know a lot and you've leveled up and you've gotten these skills and you're ready to take on clients, wouldn't you love to know how to do that from somebody that has done it a bunch of times? Wouldn't you love to have a community of other people in your space that are not worried about the competition, because there's plenty of money to go around and there's integrity in the space, which is why I personally interview every single person and I don't have employees in the system. It's not like you're talking to an instructor, it's me. Because of that, I'm able to guarantee the integrity of the community, and we're able to make sure that, again, you are not alone. In those scary nights where you're trying to figure out, should I make a bunch of moves right now? In those situations where you view the lesson and it's just a little bit too much, wouldn't you love to know what dozens of other people have gone through, and maybe they've had the same problems, and maybe the solution has been laid out for them so you don't have to wait for the class? Wouldn't you love to have that bit of, I don't need to worry about everybody else. I've already taken the investment in myself to learn from the person that teaches Facebook how to do this. That's what I'm bringing to the table. And that's what I think you deserve. So my point here is, one of the greatest benefits to an investment in yourself also comes with the community you get from that investment. If you're investing money in getting better, make sure that the people you're learning from have solved your problem dozens of times. Make sure the people you are learning from have systems and processes in place to handle the problem that you don't even know that you have yet. And make sure these are people that are relying on the same core values year after year, not chasing the next big thing and spending a lot of their time complaining why it doesn't work. One of the things that baffles me is how well people do that spend a lot of their time complaining. It's not that they're good at their job, but they're very well known because everybody can relate to the problems. The problem is, the person that's having the same problem as you, that couldn't solve it for themselves, isn't the person that you should be leaning on to solve your problem. And that's why I'm here. I've legitimately worked with dozens of 7- and 8-figure brands. I've legitimately worked with Facebook, over hundreds of millions of dollars. The engineering, the product team, the reps, the customer service departments, the messenger team, to design how things should work and to test through them. I've spent millions of Facebook's money to define best practices around creative testing, campaign architecture, strategy around bidding models. You can either learn from somebody trying to hack their way through problem solving, where they are literally one step ahead of you and they're going in the wrong direction. Or you can learn from somebody that made the entire play field that they're on in the first place. And if you invest in that, not only do you get, again, 9 courses, weekly classes, accountability, homework, where I literally check your work and give you feedback, but you also get a community of individuals who are right there with you, that are either in the same place you are or were before, and they can help you out. And when you finish that, maybe you want to help them too. You don't have to, but a lot of people do. And the value here really is in that it lasts forever. That community isn't going away. It doesn't expire. It doesn't cost you money ongoing. And the coursework is regularly updating. So as things change, you get to learn what those changes are. For instance, I was talking about ecosystem ROAS, what we call MER, 3 years ago. We were talking about creative testing at Broad 4 years ago. The case studies we did on creative testing at Broad around branded estimated action rate were reviewed in 2017, taught in 2018, and are now, because everything else is going wrong, now finally kind of breaking into what experts are kind of talking about. But none of them are actually talking about branded estimated action rate yet. They're just saying, hey, look, go broad. But when somebody tells you the answer is to test everything, and then you say, great, now how do I document and actually execute this test? And they say, they disappear on you. There's a reason. And if somebody's not there to hold you accountable and to offer support, then they're not the person that you should realistically be investing your time and money into. So my point here is, as the sun is going down here in Los Angeles on my back patio, and I'm using my laptop screen to light me up because we were fully daylit when this started, but it is now nighttime and I have to make dinner. My point is this: you are not alone. And if you want to see success, because you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, if you are fed up with going to people who don't know the answers themselves, trying to teach you how to solve your problems, because they may have solved it in some out of context, myopic way, that doesn't mean fuck all to you. There is a solution. There is a path forward. And that's what I'm here for. If you're interested in the Facebook Ads MBA program, comment MBA here or DM me. I'm always accepting applications. Those applications then turn into an interview. And if it's the right fit, I'll give you terms from there. And if it's the wrong fit, great, we understood that. Bottom line is this: you are only one decision away from changing your life. And if listening to the same people, doing the same things, is bringing you the same problems, or it's getting worse, it might be time to say, how many more years am I willing to be falling behind? How many more months or quarters or thousands or hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars am I willing to lose before I learn what I'm supposed to do? And the honest truth is, you could probably get there. You could probably do it on your own. So why haven't you already? You might be able to get there on your own, hacking and clawing your way through stuff, but do you want success in 6 months? Do you want success in 6 years? Or do you want it in 6 weeks? Do you want a sustainable thing that not only do you buy for yourself, but you can also onboard to your team? Like, this isn't just you. This is your entire company and its future. The success of your personal career and your business should not be dependent on you guessing and leaning on other people who are failing to succeed. With that being said, it is now dark. So I will say this. I'm super excited. I do have more calendar spots open. I'm filling up constantly, so I've extended my hours, and I've got 2 or 3 sales calls a day with individuals to see if they're the right fit. And the honest truth is, not everyone is. But if you're ready to make that single decision that can change the rest of your life, I'm here. And if you're scared or you're suspicious, in 6 months when you're ready to make that decision, I'll still be here. I've been doing this for years. And the honest truth is, as far as I can tell, that's a good investment. Because the only thing holding you back from being super successful right now is knowing how to do it. And if you're still relying on yourself to make all the right choices based on information from other people that don't give a fuck about you, that are failing on their own, I'm here to offer a different solution. So I'll talk to you all later. Bye.